Yeah, there's the battle damaged. I gave it a touch up with a pen whenever I got home. Cleaned up, got everything around, took it off, gave it a little touch up, checked it, double checked it, banged right off. So then after that, I took the body, took this one apart, then I did it off camera just to see. Cleaned the contacts inside, cleaned the contacts on the lid, spun that motor for probably about 15 minutes. I just had the base, and then I set the back on it and 2 double A's and just held it, the button, and spun the motor. And just sat there and spun, holding. I knew it was lined up with the lights on. The light was on. I just sat there and spin, refigure, because trying to balance the back end because it wasn't screwed down. They didn't have the rest of the ship to hold the shape, you know, but just sat there and spun that motor and spun it. Too bad it's broke, but I'm keeping it. You know, I just wanted to see, I could make sure I could do it. Bow damage. Battle damage. Well, she's tight. There she is. Okay, so I got that done. I got the backup X-Wing complete. Is just missing the 2 stickers. The front. Alright, I took it apart. I gave it good bathies. I'm letting this dry. I scrubbed around the stickers. So that one fared out pretty good. But while I was scrubbing around this one, I noticed my soapy water was getting orange, and I rinsed it, and the paint, the ink on those stickers are like just dust. So I don't remember. I have a spare stripe. I don't know which side it is. So it's possible it could be replaced. But it is clean now, and it's going to be working. So I had to do another repair. I had that peg that was broke off inside one of the cannons. And I used a real small flathead screwdriver, and I dug it out. It's not the right peg, but I glued it in place, so it clips on with one, so I'm hoping between the 2 it'll keep it lined up, and it should clip in. And then I took glue stick, and I glue stick some of the loose stickers. They're wet and they're pliable, so they cooperate. You just gotta be careful. So my plan is to get this one working with my pen, fiberglass pen. It does a real good job. Like, even like this wiring, clean it up. All these funny little contacts, and even the spring. The spring, like R2's, you push it. There's a catch that fires out with the spring. I use this. It cleans that rust off that spring. Like, no problem. Yeah, it's dry enough. So I'm going to work on. I want to get this one going. Doesn't really look too bad. It is a little discoloration. It looks burnt even. It's like black. The wiring is black. I'm gonna have to set it down. And this side is black. Here. See if I can do something with it. I'm brushing that brass, copper. I don't know if I'm gonna hold it or press it on the table. Well, it's not gonna want to sit level because the bottom of the ship. It's like a bottom of a boat. But I have two AA batteries, and I can do them like I did with this broken one. I can set it, once I get the contacts cleaned off, I can set them batteries on there, then the back, and sit there and hold that button and spin the motor by hand once I know that it's getting power when the light's on. But so far, and some rust. And some rust off. It's easier. You can get in there, but you can't. You can get in there with the tip of your finger, and that's about it to dry off some of that. I'm gonna set it on the table. Keep cracking at it. I was at it for a while. This is wet, and I'm just stirring up a lot of crusty rustiness, but it's getting there. But that tarnish, I'm gonna try my mixture, the hot water, salt, and vinegar. I'm gonna dump there in there and see if I can knock down some of that tarnish, so maybe I can, if it'll soak through it, so then maybe with the pen I can scrub it out. So I'm gonna try that real quick. Go back and, like I've been doing, try it, rinsed it out. It's nice it's got them drain holes, so the whole bit soaks, and then the contacts are above the lowest spot in the plastic, so it will sit down in there. And I agitated. I had a Q-tip or a cotton bud and tried to scrub around that way. Let's see what it does. The green side's good to go, but that red side must have been, there had to have been some sort of a problem. Try to get that. See what I got. You can see down in there now, that green side's good, it's ready to go, but just that tarnish, it's not what, I'm breaking it down slowly. I mean, I'm using aggressive tactics. Figures. Have to drop some. Yeah, after working on this, that bowel damage yesterday, my back was starting to hurt. I had a pretty good day at work, but I guess it finally just caught up with me. Let's see if I get anything out of this light. Can't tell. I cannot tell. I didn't have this much trouble with the other two. Even this one, it like banged right off. Oh, this is the tarnish. It might be the tarnish on here too. Maybe I should have saved some of that chemical. My mixture. Or I could just give me a piece of Scotch-Brite. I'm worried about, I did hit it, but I concentrated mostly on the bottom of the ship. I didn't really pay too much attention to this part. This part is as important. I'm gonna hit that with a little sanding paper or Scotch-Brite. Take this. I was hoping it wasn't gonna take this long, but I got down to bare. You see on that dark side, this side here on that edge. That's all I was worried about, that edge. That's what contacts to the positive. I want to get that light. Aha! There it is. I get the batteries line up. See that? That's what it was. Oh, there's a motor. Got it. I spun it. I didn't spin that motor that much. No, the junk battle damage. I spun it for an hour. Or felt like it. There she goes. That was it. It's that tarnish on the contacts. Good. That's it. That got it. I just touched it and that light was coming on, and I heard the motor click. I didn't touch it and it just banged right off. I was beginning to wonder about this when there's the reeds getting hot. That's what we want to hear. Sweet! Now I can get this thing back together and go on with my life. Well, if I'm not working, I'm doing something like this. So I'm gonna get the rest of the parts and we can throw this thing back together and you're gonna watch it with me. I'm staring at the top of my head for a little bit, then I'm gonna get this thing thrown back together, and we got screw at the front, screw on top, there's two in the back, yeah, and then two holding on the wing. So what is that, 6? All these are the same size. So they must have changed something somewhere, because my other one's the nose cone, because it goes through, 30 layers of plastic. It's longer, but this one ain't. Those are all the same length. Like I was saying earlier, like these springs like this, it does a good job of, like on that one, it was still kind of rusty and crusty, and it took that rust right off, that surface rust. So I mean, if you really wanted to go to town at it, even like the spring for the R2 head, go over it, but I ain't really gonna worry about it too much. But it'll take off the big chunks. You're always gonna have a little rust, I'm gonna throw this thing together. Let's get the wings together. I gotta get R2. I gotta get this spring. That's a big spring. And both sides are good. So I'm gonna put the R2 head on. Oh, there's the R2 screws. So there's what, 7, 8. So maybe I am missing one somewhere. I guess I'll find out. It'll be on that kitchen. It'll be on that kitchen towel somewhere. R2 head. I don't know if you guys want to watch me putting this thing together, but I guess you're gonna have to. You can watch me argue with the wings and the wings and the springs. Did I do that wrong? Yes, I did that wrong. Yes, I was doing that wrong. I was getting ahead of myself. Gotta do that part first. I know someone, right? Both those sides are the same. They're lined up perpendicular from each other. There's my blue button with the spring. The spring goes towards the back, and that just sits in there in that tray. That's ready to go. So now you push that down, this button goes forward and locks RT's head in the down position. Then you have to pull it back to release R2. So there's that much done. There's a little water. I get the wings together. And it fell apart. Springs together. B&B. And this is the top, T, top, B, bottom. Makes sense now. Okay, so this is the back. That's where the batteries are. I need the rod. I'll put it in. You could use that, polish up that rod too. It's a little oxidized. Start it. Now we get our two. Just start one end, and you just gotta squeeze. They went together pretty good. Line up. Sets in a channel. The rod, it'll fall into place. It was all designed to fit together. Been stuck together for 45 years. Yeah, it'll go back. It'll remember. Okay, so there's that much. And then there's 2 screws. I'm gonna set the landing gear in. Do it from the top. Just set that in. Alright. There's 4 screw locations, but they only use 2 screws. That's fine. Some of their, yeah, you can tell pretty obvious which 2 they used. The ones will be brand new. You could switch them, get fresh, put that screw in fresh plastic, but I'm gonna go ahead and use the what Kenner used. Those holes, same old holes. They worked that long, and they'll no reason why they won't work any longer. But if you got extra Kenner screws, you can put all 4 in, Okay, so there's 3 left, so I do have one somewhere upper. Okay, there's that much. Do I want to test my work? I'm going to test my work. Okay, that one's positives down on that side. Positives up on this side. Good, yes. Pretty sweet. We'll have us a nice ship here in a minute. Got the rest of the parts. I did find the long screw. So all any which way has a long screw for the nose cone. Okay, so you gotta put the body on. So I re-glued this side, and then this side. The metal stripe was good. I thought the back, yeah, there's the back. Whenever it was wet, it was stuck down. I'm gonna grab my glue stick. Maybe. Glue stick. You get like 5 of them at Dollar Tree. So, I thought one of them was curled up, but with it was wet, it made it want to stay, made it want to lay flat. Let's get some glue on that. I got that wave out too. Yeah, there's a little wave in it. Got that laid down. There'd be no problem with those. There's a little wave on there, but sorry, wave there, but I don't know if I'll be. Yeah, it's stuck down. I don't want to rip that. I didn't want to peel this one all the way back. I just peeled it back here for unglued it. Try to glue the reverse both sides as best you can. So there's that much. Put the top on. One screw for the top, then I'll do the nose cone. Yeah, make sure the light goes through the opening. Doesn't really, it just sits there in place. The wires are bent in a particular way, so it'll just relax to its own position. So it's been shoved in that position for 46 years. It'll go back. It'll fall into place. I didn't even have to do anything with it. It just went. There's that one. I'm gonna do the nose cone. Nose cone. My landing gear's in place. It kind of clips in. And my long nose cone screw. So it's gone through 3 layers. I gotta put that down so I don't bump the nose any harder. I have to. I'll go ahead and put the batteries in it. With the back off. The 2 batteries in the back. 2 screws in the back. The Kenner version has lights and sound. Well, a light and a sound. A light and a sound. So that has a plastic like battery cover. Well, the Palatoy doesn't have the light and sound. It has this part, but this detail is molded into the plastic. It's a sticker. It's like, it's not a separate piece on the back. It's molded where it's 2 halves. So if you take a Palatoy apart, you have to take the sticker off. Well, mine had been apart before, so the sticker was, or you can cut it with a utility knife down the middle, which I hated, but I didn't do it, so I didn't feel bad. If I had cut it, I would have felt bad, but I didn't cut it, so. I know you don't want to work. There she goes. I was getting ready to pop the battery compartment. Okay, so there's that much. Try running. It hasn't started in 45 years, so it's got its own battle damage. Doesn't need any stickers. It's got a nice little scuff here. See, it's like a child playing with it. It gets its own battle damage, you know what I'm saying? There's a discoloration there across the white. The scuffs there. The scuff there. I ain't worried about all them scuffs. It's clean, because hard telling what the kid did to it, and then hard telling what kind of conditions it was stored in. There might have been animals. I kind of like the yellow cockpit glass. I think if that was clear, it'd look weird. Just like a yellow Saber and Farm Boy Luke. If you put a blue lightsaber on a Farm Boy Luke, which would be the right, it would look weird. So I'm going to leave that yellow. Looking good, yes. And then this one is the one that had the peg broke in it, and I know it because there's still residue. And then this one, it's bent funny, so I glued that peg on, and it doesn't set flush, flat, and it's crooked. So I'm hoping between it being crooked, it'll help hold it, which it does. That's clipped on there pretty tight. I ain't gonna mess with that no more. This gun, clip, man, I clipped it real good. Wow, that one didn't. Let's see what else we got. One more. Clip, clip, clip. Clip, clip. A big reveal that spuds out on me. That motor needs run. 1970. Freaking 1978 X-Wing. 1981 battle damaged X-Wing. 1978 original release Kenner X-Wing. They're both bangers. That was awesome. That took forever. I'm gonna leave the batteries in them and run them. Run them in the morning. Press them every time I walk by. Tools. Phillips screwdriver. Fiberglass pen. Scratch pen. Glue stick. 2 hands. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate it.